Yeah. But that's not work. It's
Yeah.
still like, it's
Yeah.
not work yet.
Yeah.
But like, I made work so I can snowmobile more than work.
You make work so you can snowmobile more.
More than work.
More than work. So
Yeah.
what do you see as work then?
Work is the B&B when I have to clean it, and I also sell snowmobile and UTV like wraps, graphic kits, like stickers that you put on, like this.
Oh, for these guys.
Yeah. So this one you don't see it now, but when it's sunny, it's sparkly.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Take a
gold
picture of
sparkles in it. But anyways, it's like all wrecked because I hit some trees really fast. But yeah, I sell those stickers that people put on their snowmobiles just to get like some style and personality.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like my main job, but I can do it on my own terms. So like
Yeah,
I do a bit in the morning before I go snowmobiling, and
Yeah.
then I do it a little bit at night when I come back.
Yeah.
And I just roll with that. And then Seb owns a zone garage, so I help him with that. But I kind of trade my rent
Yeah.
for work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
like yeah, it's perfect.
So you are doing snowmobiling, then you're doing Airbnb,
Yeah,
and then you're doing graphic designing.
yeah. I don't do the designs,
Yeah.
but I sell for the company that does it,
Okay.
and I'm a design consultant. So I would like guide my customers through like their main ideas that I will transmit like in a clear
Yeah.
manner to the designer, and then they will build it up for us.
Yeah.
But like it's funny because you can really tell who are my customers.
Yeah. You
Like
tell?
within like all the wraps that Cudvec America sells. It's called Cudvec America, the company I sell for.
Yeah.
So you can tell who has worked with me.
Okay.
Like my style is very different
Yeah.
than everything else out there. It's more like badass, I like to say.
Yeah.
And my like kind of slogan is stay badass. I just like say that all the time,
Yeah.
and like I hashtag it all the time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all about like being kind of like dark but cool, and it's all about having like a good attitude, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being like good at a sport at the same time, because
Yeah.
like more often than not people that are good have a shitty attitude.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that a lot with snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that I've been a victim of it, but almost.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people were so cool that I could never get in. Like it was very hard. Like even if I
You're
was
cliquey.
winning competitions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I was not part of that circle. So it was very hard to make it for me. And then when I switched to snowmobile, it was very different because everybody was just happy to see a girl on a snowmobile, you know, when I first started.
Yeah.
Like the places I would make it with the boys back then, like nowadays with the snowmobiles being better and everything, it's been easier, and there's more and more girls that are very good and make it places. But when I first started, it was like kind of uncommon to see a girl up there like at that crazy place where you
Yeah.
need a mandatory side hill to make it too, kind of thing.
So what made you go out there? What was that?
At first it was really because I wanted to snowboard. I wanted to do backcountry access snowboarding.
Yeah.
So basically I would take the snowmobile to get to the mountain and then do snowboard laps.
Yeah.
But then, because my knee was weak, I could not really snowboard. But snowmobiling was kind of feeling okay. So I was still going up there, taking my board, but like doing safe laps. And then the more I became good at snowmobiling, the less I was snowboarding. And
okay.
at some point, I just ended up not bringing the board at all
Yeah.
and just snowmobile. And my boyfriend and I, like, I'd say would qualify as adventurous snowmobilers, because what we like to do is go on like very long distances to places where only a handful of people have been. And we've made it to some peaks and glaciers that
Yeah.
like only a handful of people have seen with their own eyes.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is like, it's very
Very special.
special. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
when you're out there, like I'd say within the mountains,
Yeah.
it feels like so small. You're so small.
Yeah.
Everything is so big and so white everywhere, and
know.
like you see mountains,
Yeah.
like oceans of mountains,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh yeah, that like financial problem I have is actually really nothing. Caused by snowmobiling, that brought me here, which makes me very happy. So
Yeah.
whatever, right? But you gotta choose your battles. But it's a very expensive sport. Like that's what I miss about snowboarding because it was cheap. You would get one board. Like I used to have sponsors and stuff, so it was a bit different. I was not even paying for my snowboards then. But like you get one snowboard, it can last you up to 4 or 5 years if you're cautious about like how you're using it.
Yeah.
And then a pass to the mountain here for sure in Whistler is like super expensive. It's like I think 1,200 this year. Used to be like $2,000.
Wow.
But like at least you've paid this and that's it, and then you can go up the mountain every day.
Yeah.
But with a snowmobile,
Yeah.
it's like the machine itself is worth about 20 grand.
Okay.
And then just this season, I made for about 5 grand worth of damage on my snowmobile
Okay.
from riding it too hard or crashing.
Like badass.
It's like one or the other. By sending it too much or being very bad. But it's part of the game, and like within the past 6 years, it was the first time ever I had to leave my snowmobile up the mountain overnight.
Yeah, you were telling me about it
Yeah,
yesterday. How does that?
exactly.
It feels like you're leaving a baby. You're babying.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
pretty much. You're like, oh, it's like all my life is there. Like I have my truck is worth like maybe 3 grand now. Like
Yeah.
I don't care, but my snowmobile, like I'm thinking of snow checking a brand new one this year. Like I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but it's like that goes. It's priority over everything. Like we need a new balcony, but no, the snowmobiles are gonna come first.
And the one that you tried out yesterday, how was that?
It was very good. I tried the Lynx Boondocker DS. It was a very awesome snowmobile. I need strong skids because basically like that old like track portion of the snowmobile.
Yeah.
Here we have a lot of bumps to get to the zones in the backcountry.
Yeah.
And I come from a background of ATV and dirt biking racing.
Okay.
So like going really fast through bumps is something that actually enlightens me.
Yeah.
And when I get on the trail, instead of being, oh, I'll take it easy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I just want to go fast and like come through corners like as fast as I can and hold it, and
Yeah.
like you need a very strong snowmobile to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And in the past 3 seasons, I've broke like something or everything in there at
Yeah.
least once a season. And the bills are accumulating pretty fast.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And the one I tried yesterday, that was the stronger point why I wanted to try it was the skid system. The suspension is made differently and it works differently,
Yeah.
which makes it a very smoother ride while you're going through those bumps really fast, so you can get to the zone faster.
Okay.
And that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then the snowmobile I have right now has really bad skis.
Yeah.
And the weak point that people have been bringing up about the snowmobile I tried yesterday was the skis. They did not like how the skis responded and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, with the setup I have on my own snowmobile right now, going on that sled made it like really easier than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But going to what people are normally used to on the Ski-Doo Gen 4s,
Yeah.
this is too narrow for me. I kind of tend to overdo everything because I'm used to like give a lot of power to execute my maneuvers on my own snowmobile right now because of those bad quality skis I have. But I have some in the mail right now, so it's going to be changing a lot of my riding.
Yeah.
So I'll see when I try those new skis on my snowmobile.
Yeah.
I might like it enough to keep it next season. But the one I tried yesterday was very tempting to
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
Yes, if I would have like infinite amount of money, I would definitely go with that snowmobile for next season.
Well, you never know. You might get it. But how much does that one cost?
It retails for $18,700, I think.
Okay.
$18,700 Canadian.
Yeah.
plus taxes.
Well,
Yeah.
but,
Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
but one thing, like you said, if it has, I think it suits your personality much better because it's badass, like
Yeah,
you are.
exactly.
So I think, yeah, if you know, yeah, Lynx, you're listening. She likes it. So yeah,
Yes,
you know,
I do really like the
And-
snowmobile.
and the places she'll take the snowmobile, that's where you want to be, anyways. So
Yeah.
like she showed us a video of her, of your yesterday's trip, right?
Yeah,
Where
I'll post it on my Instagram page as well. for
Yeah,
you
we
to
can,
see.
and yeah, we can add it to while we're doing this. We can
Yeah.
just show that.
Perfect.
That'll be nice too.
Yeah, I'll
right?
send you a link.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Great.
perfect.
but one thing that really inspired me and her to talk to you was that you are a woman and in motorsports. So how are things changing now since you started?
Like I mentioned earlier, there was not that many girls into the sport when I first started compared to now, and I think the machines, like the technology that the machine has right now, requires less power, and that has a lot to do with it. You need less strength to be able to execute the proper maneuvers with the machine. And definitely there's more and more girls, and I'm part of a group named Brab Babes. And what we've been doing is
Yeah.
initiating a bunch of girls every season for the past 3 seasons. But since COVID, definitely we kind of stopped our events and stuff. But we
Yeah.
came up with other original ideas to like kind of connect with each other.
Yeah.
We have an online magazine
Okay.
Wow.
that's only dedicated to women into snowmobiling and
Wow.
dirt biking.
What is it
So
called?
it switches like seasonally. What's that? Sorry.
What's the magazine called?
Brad Babes.
Brad
The Brad
Babes.
Babes magazine.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah, it's
That
my
is-
friend Angelisa Edwards that started that group.
Yeah.
I'd say 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we initially just organized social rides to meet other women here in the Sea to Sky to go ride with. That's basically all we wanted, and
Yeah.
then through that we met an incredible amount of amazing women. Some that lived like in the United States that came ride with us, people from the Alberta, like we connected with a lot of women, and it's very fun. And actually a bunch of them are coming to stay in the tent, and I'll mount my other tent, so there's gonna be like 8 of us.
Okay.
And I want to share the kind of camping experience with them
Yeah.
here, and we're gonna go ride somewhere around.
Wow.
Yeah, like next weekend actually. That's what's happening.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
with
fantastic.
Stephanie Schwartz from Mountain Labs and Camps.
Okay.
Yeah, so she is a Ski-Doo ambassador actually, and
Okay.
a very, very nice person. I really recommend you would look her profile.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. It's like really nice to see, especially this month. We've been talking a lot about International Women's
Yes.
Day. So it's great to like hear stories like yourself to come
Thank
out and
you.
you're doing badass stuff in the community.
Thank you very much. I tried my best to be connected with my community the best I can with the ways I have.
Yeah.
Like I'm not very a fan of like going to club meetings that much, like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
other month. But yeah, I try to connect women. And with Brad Babes, we've been collecting, actually raising money for the Easter Seal Foundation for children with disabilities.
Okay.
So every year we've been raising between like $1,500 and $3,000.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been very good, and it makes you feel great when you see you're giving back to your community.
Yeah.
And now the more I grow my social presence on social media and stuff as well, I realize that I've been inspiring a lot of girls to even start the sport, or others to like do it a bit differently than they were before.
Yeah.
Especially protection wise, I'm really like, I've lacerated my liver before, compressed my lungs,
Yeah.
bruised my kidneys and that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
I have more broken bones than my fingers can count. But now I ride like with full neck brace,
Yeah.
chest protection, and all that kind of stuff. And the more I post with it, the more I see other girls doing it, and a lot of them reach out to me to have like suggestions and recommendations about protective gear and that kind of
That's
stuff.
great.
So-
That's really important.
yeah, it's nice to feel like I'm looked up to, I guess. Like, it's weird to say.
Yeah.
It's weird to say because I feel like I look up to everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I guess now it's kind of the tables are turning, and I'm the one inspiring others in the best positive way I can. Especially on social media, I honestly believe that any negative comments or thoughts have no place to be on public social media, and I try to strive with positivity and always be encouraging with everyone whenever I can.
That reminds me of the quote you mentioned earlier. The experience is what you make of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same with like social media. People will be trolling you, whatever, but like it's up to you what you take of it.
Exactly.
You know.
And what you throw out there usually is what's gonna come back.
Yeah.
So finger crossed, the future should be looking bright.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I think you have that energy of someone who inspires and someone who's badass, but someone who's also who's caring. You know, I can see that you care about people. You care about what you do. You cared about as a host. You cared about us. You know how we are, how we're doing.
Thank you so much for mentioning this, because with the B&B, like especially with COVID, I try to limitate like how much I interact with people the best I can.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know, like, yes, people give a positive review, but like being told face to face is always really nice. Thank you.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Been very approachable and very welcoming. We really appreciate it for sure. It makes a big difference.
Thank you. You guys are welcome anytime back for sure.
We will. And one thing I really liked was, I want to speak for the ones who can't speak. Like you had a bowl for the puppies.
Yeah.
So
Yes, pet friendly for sure, and all the puppies are welcome off leash on our property.
yeah. And honestly, you'll meet like all the puppies from around the farm. They just come and meet your puppies.
Yeah, I know, it's so funny. Mine stay home, but all the ones around come here to play with them. It's so weird, but I enjoy it. When Sequoia was a puppy, there was like 12 other small-ish dogs in the street. Some of them were her age, some of them were older, but like every morning I would open the door and they would all be there, all 8 of them, waiting for her to get outside. It was the best. I would have like all those puppies licking my face every morning. It was so good.
I don't know what else do we want.
Oh, nothing. And with my schedule now too, I can cuddle with those 2 in the morning, like whenever I want, and that is the best. Like honestly, being my like own boss and being a business owner right now, like especially after COVID, it like really recentered what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, and I'm very proud of what I've accomplished recently. Yeah.
Do you think snowmobiling and being out there helped you in entrepreneurship?
Yes and no. I think I've always kind of had that entrepreneurship like bone. I don't know how to say this in English, but like string or whatever. Like I mentioned earlier, I did business school in the fields of sports marketing and management. So even like right after high school, that's kind of where I wanted to go. But I really think I needed to have a very, very low to actually grow enough balls to make a move and like be my own boss. Yeah, because I managed like tons of other people's businesses before, and it always would come to a point where I was like, I wanted to do more than what they wanted for themselves.
I feel that.
And it was very frustrating. So I decided to do my own thing the way I want to do it, and I'm very satisfied with what I've been doing in the past couple of years. It definitely, like I said, it took a very low to realize that, but I guess you need to reach the bottom to push yourself better. Yeah.
No, this is like like things that you're sharing. It's so important that stories like yourself go out.
Thank you very much. I've never felt like I was the storyteller type until I guess it just arrived with like social media and stuff, when people started like asking, oh, what happened there? Oh, and I kind of enjoy it.
But I think it makes sense the way you do it as well, with connecting with more people, and you're just really sharing with a community and growing that community, right?
Yes.
It's more like, it's not you just advertising yourself, you're just helping everybody.
Yeah,
It's a
because
very different way to approach it.
because there's always rotten apple in the basket, right? And like I said, within the snowboarding industry, I kind of experienced that in a bad way. People were kind of rude, and I promised myself that I would never be that person to anyone.
Yeah.
And I'm really striving and working hard for that not to happen. I just want to be nice and be stoked.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to be stoked to do the sport. And I want them to be comfortable doing it the way they want it at their own pace. Because all that matters is passion. If you go out there and you're having fun, you win. And yeah, that's it. I choose to win every day.
That's really awesome. I love your spirit. And I am new to snowmobiling. Like I've seen snowmobiles earlier in India, but they used to be like, "Come, we'll give you a ride for
Yeah.
500 rupees."
Yeah.
So like if like someone like me, they want to get into snowmobiling, what's the best way to go forward?
First of all, I would recommend going with a company like Blackcomb Snowmobiles here in Whistler. I would take you on like a groom trail tour, like in the mountains, and it's big enough for you to really feel like the getting small vibe, but it's safe as well. So it's a very good way to just get initiated with like the throttle and that kind of stuff, because it's a really, I find with the years, it's like you get it or you don't. It's like some people like would really like to get good, but it's
Not connected.
it's not working, and some others would get on there and like have it right away.
Right.
But like it doesn't matter if you don't get it. If you still like it, like I said earlier, just keep doing it the way you want, and if it makes you happy, that's perfect. But yeah, starting with Blackcomb Snowmobiles here in Whistler is a good way, and then once you've done their like I guess they have different kind of tours, and one of them is like the higher level or whatever. Once you've done that one and you feel comfortable, I would recommend going with Broken Boundary Adventures here in Pemberton. That will take you on an actual backcountry tour.
Okay.
Yeah, and they rent the snowmobiles, and you can contact me for this, and I'll make a little percentage of your booking. So that's always nice. Thank you, Broken Boundary. And yeah, they're super nice, and it's very comfortable to go with them. Even on your first tours, you can go straight to the backcountry, but I find for the amount of money, it's better to go there for your first one with Blackcomb Snowmobiles.
Okay.
And then there. And once you've experienced what it is to actually snowmobile by yourself, you can decide if you want to buy one or not. But I do not really recommend straight buying a snowmobile and say like, yeah, I'm getting into this year, invest all the money, and then realizing it's not for you. The loss on the value of your machine, like as soon as you get out of the dealership, is like pretty massive. So you don't want to do that to yourself.
Okay.
That's very fair.
Yeah. We'll try. Is it open this season or?
Yeah,
We can
it's
now.
still open. Yeah, Broken Boundary is operating. I don't think they do much advertising or anything. They're just like taking people as they come.
Okay.
And for sure, the tours in Whistler are still going.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So I think that we've got a lot of. We won't take too much of your
Oh
time.
no,
But
oh good.
Do you have
And
any?
you can edit and remove everything.
Yeah,
you want,
that's-
it's fine.
That I feel like I'm also new to interviewing.
Okay,
Like
cool.
I'm honestly like this is my third. Last week I did my first couple of interviews.
Yeah.
So now I feel like instead of being very specific and doing certain things, it's more like a conversation.
Yes, and that's what people are looking for, I find, more nowadays with podcasts and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as your guest,
More
it was very
genuine.
enjoyable and stressless. I did not even realize you had started the camera in the first place. It took me a while.
I didn't even notice the first two. Like, he's sneaky.
Like we were just chatting, and I was like, is he gonna start that thing or not? And then I realized I was already going.
Yeah.
It's perfect though, I really
Yeah.
liked it.
That's because I feel like that's what you are more natural, right? People sometimes we are new to the camera, we feel like we get like this or that, but you just want to be yourself and just have a conversation.
Exactly.
That's what it is. But yeah, I've really had a lovely time here. And
Thank you.
She has like made friends with all the dogs.
Yeah, I see that. Mud's loving you. Hey, do you give me 5? Do you give me 5?
Oh,
Thank you, baby girl.
The mother came back.
Yeah, when she was a puppy, she was always going cuddling in the morning with my guests.
Ah.
She would sneak in the tent and jump in the bed.
Please do that next time.
Yeah. He came today. He came in the tent today.
Yeah,
Really nice.
she is very not shy about it. That's why I specify you must like dogs.
Yeah. Oh, it's a she?
Yeah, yeah, they're both she's.
Okay, they're both she. Okay.
And I felt very pleased with myself too. I gotta be honest with Ali,
Yes.
the other house. That she was like, "Oh, I'm very unsure," and then I slowly warmed up, and then she let me pet her fully. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, she's hard. She's hard to pet.
Yeah.
Even myself, I can't sometimes. Kev has to be around for her to let me pet her.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and we've been living across each other for like 4 years.
I felt so proud. She gave me a little lick on the nose and everything. I was like,
That's so
"Oh,
nice.
so
Yes, good accomplishment. That means you have a good aura for sure.
Yeah. I've noticed that with you. All the puppies, they don't come to me. They come to her.
It's pretty much the same with my boyfriend and I. It's so funny. We go to like bonfires and like sometimes I would not even bring my dogs, but I always end up with like everybody's dogs on me, and I like end up sleeping on my chair like
Oh,
with all the dogs.
Yeah.
best feeling.
Yes, I love it.
So like yeah. So if dogs love you, that's a sign that you know you're doing well in life.
I guess it just depends. Yeah, it's not because they don't like you that you're not doing well.
You're just a little shy. I think they sense that.
Okay.
May I take a second to thank my sponsors?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to thank my sponsors, Revolution Power Sports in Whistler, Kimpex Inc., Brad Babes, of course, Astra Off-Road. There's also Spark TV, Liat, Liquimol, Muck-Off, Oxford Products, CKX, and I think that's about it. Thank you, everybody, for my 2021 season. It's been a blast. I really appreciate all your support, and I'll make sure to make it worth it next year again.
You know she cares about you because she remembers all of you at the top of her mind. So, you know.
I'm like, I hope I did not forget anyone.
No, thank you. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, great talking to you too. Thank you so much.